everybody. We're coming to you live from inside the main studios at Bubba's Exotic Motorsports. Actually, our main build facility here at Bubba's Exotic Motorsports. It's Friday. Welcome to the beginning of the weekend, Bub. How you doing today?
Man, I'm doing really good so far. This week has been a really crazy week here. We have had some serious upgrades, a lot of good things going on here around the facility. The shop is underway in every department, cranking rides out right now. I'm telling you, everything from like our older restorations to our pro touring stuff, to our high-end exotics, to now custom choppers. As everybody knows out there, we literally do everything in-house from cars, trucks, bikes, vintage, old, American, foreign, everything across the line. This is just another one of those things we're doing. We've got one of our really, really good clients. They bring in all of their custom motorcycles here for us to do all their custom paint work to it. This one was actually laid over on the left side of the bike, and we're just gonna go through, repaint all of the tins. You can see the front fenders off, gas tanks off, the rear fenders off, so we can redo this entire paint job, get this thing up for sale and back on the street.
Right on, Bub. You know, Bub, it's been a really good week, as you mentioned. We're joined today by the ladies' man, Monster. There he is, live with us. He's always live with us. Bub, we were joined yesterday by Tony Rienzi from TonyRienzi.com. Great time over there, man. We're continuing the ceramic detailing on the Tony Rienzi Diablo over here. That car is up for sale, as a matter of fact. Monkey in Paradise is joined with us here on the set, monkeyinparadise.com, the social vodka. They remind you not to drink. And Miss Outlaw Boutique, MsOutlawBoutique.com at 561-660-6695, who is having a Rebel Yoga on May the 13th, May the 13th, from 9:30 to 10:30 in the morning. Bub, this is one of the Thunder Mountain motorcycles.
Yes.
Thunder Mountain, as you know, historically, you were a historian with Harley-Davidson for a period of time. Thunder Mountain motorcycles were the only motorcycle recognized, or chopper recognized, officially recognized by the Harley-Davidson company. It does run on all Harley-Davidson drivetrain with the Baker 6-speed hooked up to it.
It does, which it gives you a nice, this was a big issue for choppers, man. They were a great craze. You know, they came, they went, they came, they went, they came. They're always going to. It's always going to be like a little phase. But that was a time where it was up and down. A lot of people had trouble with choppers, custom industry, whether it be, you know, guys out there who had iron horses or guys out there who had big dogs. You know, there were so many things to those bikes that while the product was great, it was a lot of components to make those bikes, you know, like with S&S motors, with Baker transmissions, with different drive gears, and I mean, everything that went on with these things. There was never a combined match, you know, so there was always something that was failing or something that wasn't right, you know.
Do you remember that? The carburetor
didn't match the ignition, it didn't match, you know, and all the stuff just didn't work. Trust me, when the stuff was done right, these things are freaking animals, dude. I'm telling you, they're raw horsepower animals. They run strong, but they just weren't Harley-Davidsons. They weren't mass production. You turn the key and you ride off the floor and everything works.
That's right.
They're great showstoppers. They run hard, they put out serious power, but you have to stay up with choppers, I'm telling you. This was nice because Thunder Mountain with Harley-Davidson components gave you a fuel-injected, completely reliable hydraulic clutch, hydraulic brake system, everything matched. All the stuff worked on this thing, and it was a 50-state legal and compliant setup, so everything on it had to meet a certain set of standards before it could even roll off the floor, so they were really nice.
And as you mentioned, Bub, this is a fuel-injected setup with a hydraulic clutch. Choppers, ladies and gentlemen, by nature are hard enough to ride because of the wide rear tire,
length of the bike,
and the stretched fork. So it's a very, very hard thing. It's not like riding your standard motorcycle. You still have to use your motorcycle riding skills, learning how to sit in the friction zone.
But it's very different when it comes to trying to make U-turns. You know, you're not going to, it doesn't matter how good of a rider you are. You can be Jerry Palladino, can't take this bike and lay it over and make a perfect U-turn. You cannot do it.
Can't do it.
Just because of the way it's designed. There's nothing wrong with it. That's just a style of bike.
That's right.
So, I mean, it is what it is, but every bike style has its own thing. These things are really, really cool to look at, really fun to have. I've had probably 100 of these things. And they're really fun to ride. They are ball busters. They really are. Like, they're absolutely hands down animal powerhouses. But some of them, for example, like this is a Softail, so this is based off a Softail chassis. It does have rear suspension, front suspension, so it is a very comfortable riding bike for what it is. A lot of these guys out there that ride hardtails, rigids, man, it's a
Find
long
out
ride
about
doing,
it.
it's a long ride doing 20 miles.
You find out about it.
Yeah.
What's the difference, Bub, between a rigid and a soft tail? Let's talk a little bit about what makes the difference between a rigid and a soft tail, because certainly the average person does not see shocks on this bike, although this Springer front end is a $5,000 upgrade on this particular bike.
Right, so the difference between a rigid and a soft tail style bike, which a lot of choppers were built on soft tail style chassis, which is great. They were very universal. The suspension was easy to do. You can run a really fat tire. You can hide the shocks underneath. So it was a real nice setup. It was always clean no matter what you did with it. And it just made the bike that much more comfortable. This one, you can always tell whether it's a soft tail or a rigid mount because you can see there's a pivot bolt that's down here on the rear frame. This pivot bolt is actually where the rear swing arm mounts to and pivots up and down for each road bump for everything that's going on, and the two shocks running front to rear are directly centered underneath of the bike.
That's correct. The shocks are underneath the bike where you can't see them. They allow your eye to wander the bike and not see the shocks.
Yeah.
We know this is kind of based on the soft tail platform of the 80s and 90s because the oil bag is sitting in the location, what we call an oil bag. It's the oil tank. It's located in that position right there. This is a 103 cubic inch Screaming Eagle motor. It's a Harley-Davidson performance motor. The Screaming Eagle side of Harley-Davidson is their performance division. It runs very, very well.
Now it runs super strong, really strong. It is a great bike for someone who, again, this bike brand new. Now this is a used bike, so it's a 2010, not in bad condition at all. We're going through and we're repainting all of the 10s on it. There were a couple little blemishes on the paint. We're just not going to send it out that way. It's just got to be perfect. I mean, especially with this bike. The chrome is beautiful. The polish on the wheels are beautiful. The engine's clean. There's no pitting anywhere. This bike is a 10 out of 10 as it sits here without the 10s on it. The 10s that were on it, meaning the gas tank, the rear fender, the front fender, they were messed up. So it took this bike from a 10 out of 10 down to a 7. It did. So in order for us to make this thing a 10 out of 10 again, we're going to redo all of that, make it look very beautiful, polish this thing up in detail, get it back out to this client, and let him get it on his showroom floor.
Exactly, man. Let him
That's
get
it.
it out there for sale. So these are some of the things, ladies and gentlemen, that we get involved with. We don't just bring you the classic cars or the daily drivers. We bring you the high-end Italian exotics, European exotics, the motorcycles. And this, Bub, is a little bit about how it sets you apart from everybody else in the industry and keeps you up in that top 3 category because you're so well versed with everything that you do from a technical standpoint.
Well, I feel like you have to be. If you want to be a master of everything, you have to take the time and you want to learn and own every one of those pieces. If you don't, then you'll never make any forward progression.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can try to do this stuff. I mean, some guys love to do it. Some guys love doing paint and bodies. Some guys love doing upholstery. Some doing mechanical, so on and so on. But that's all they can do. And if you limit yourself to that, then that's your capability. That's it.
That's right.
Where we like to do everything in-house. Literally the only thing that sends out of our facility is chroming and powder coating. And both of those we use Palm Beach plating. They're 5 miles south of us. So everything is delivered and picked up same day. And it's a super quick turnaround and the quality is on point, man. So we love it.
Very quick. You will be seeing some changes coming up in here. We've added another member to our crew who's a very, very skilled Lamborghini and Ferrari technician. You'll be meeting him here shortly. We will be installing a couple more lifts in here, so you'll see that growth change over the next couple weeks as we continue to bring you, these updates and keep you involved. And you'll see more and more of these very exotic, high-end, classic and European cars.
I had to get us back over on this chopper, man. I feel like we've left the chopper for some reason.
Okay, well, bring it
So
back.
here's the deal. So here is the paint scheme that was on this Thunder Mountain chopper behind me. This is it is a very good paint scheme. Really cool looking.
Marble,
the flames.
marble
It's
tint,
got marbling in it.
tribal.
It's a beautiful setup. Looks really good. However, this does not match this bike. This bike has...
Tell everybody from a design perspective, Bob, why it doesn't.
So this is and I'm going to bring this in, Matt, so I don't know if you can get nice and clear on this thing. This is a marble finish. There are multiple stages and layers of paintwork here. There's a lot of handwork. There's a lot of pinstriping, a lot of brushing. There's really good skill in this paint job. Tell me that this $10,000 paint job matches anything you see here. It doesn't. This is a very clean bike. It looks really good. And I'm not saying this in a bad way. This bike is very clean. It has very nice polishing, very nice chrome, but it is very clean. There's nothing popping out at you. It is an overall clean, smooth design. This is good looking. This bike needs to just be a clean setup, not something that looks like somebody did custom paint on 3 pieces and stuck it on this bike.
So you're feeling there's too much going on with
Way
the
too
paint.
much going on with this paint. If this were to be somehow, if the frame of the bike were marbled all the way down, or if there were accent pieces done somewhere else on this, it would look good. None of this ties into this. And what we're gonna do is, as you can see, Matt, I'm gonna bring this in for you again. This is where just, I mean, small stuff, chips in the front fender, chips in the gas tank on the left-hand side. These are very deep. You can see they're all the way down to steel because it's rusted. So what we're gonna do is, instead of doing just one repair here, one repair on the tank, we're gonna go ahead and go all the way down with these things, take them down to bare metal, bring them all the way back up, make sure that the bodywork is straight, everything's sitting on them exactly how they should be, and then we will theme paint these to this bike so that it makes a more complete look. This just looked like someone took everything off, painted it really custom, and then stuck it on this bike.
Have you picked your colors for that yet?
I have. You know, I'm looking at something along the lines of, right now, like what we need to do, if you put this on here, which is where it sits, this orange that you guys see here, I don't know, Matt, if you can get in on that a little bit, that orange you see there has nothing to do with the color of this frame. It doesn't at all. So it's just, there's too much contrast going on while they're still close in colors. It doesn't look like it's meant for this bike. There's not enough going on here. So I think what I'm going to do is go with a base coat color that is somewhere in this red. This is close to a flame red. So I'm going to go somewhere in that, and then maybe mix it up with a little bit of pop on some pearl, some metallic flake, something that keeps this color as your base fundamental, but then as you work around it, you start to see it jump, versus all of this really in your face, while this is not in your face at all. These three pieces stood out like a sore thumb.
Sure.
So that's it.
It's going to be a very, very cool build.
I got to get back to work, dude.
So Bob, until tomorrow.
Just keep on doing it Bubba style.
We'll see you tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Monkey in Paradise is the social vodka. monkeyinparadise.com. Please drink responsibly. Monkey in Paradise mandates that you drink responsibly. monkeyinparadise.com. TonyRienzi.com. Go out there and check him out. TonyRienzi.com. Bubba's Exotic Motorsports. Bubba'sExoticMotorsports.com. Robertson Racing LLC. RobertsonRacingLLC.com. And Ms. Outlaw. Ms. Outlaw Boutique.com. 561-660-6695. Ladies and gentlemen, set out to touch somebody's life in a positive way every day. Open the door for the elderly. Shoe somebody with holes in their feet. Feed somebody who needs a meal. Until tomorrow, we'll see you then, live from the studios here at our, from our broadcast studios here at Bubba's Exotic Motorsports. Keep on doing it, Bubba style.